7 p.m. to consider levying increased millage rate not to exceed prior year's maximum millage rate. And this is the library millage we discussed. Does anyone have anything, any comments about the millage that we're discussing tonight from the public?
Is this our turn to talk about the library funding, or will we?
Yes, that's what it's a public hearing, to hear from the public about both. You're welcome to speak.
Thank you, I appreciate that very much. My name is Mark Taylor. It's great to see all of y'all here tonight. I know many of you here, and I'm glad that we're here to talk about the public funding of the library, or the incremental dollars that we're thinking about for the library. So first of all, I just want to remind all of G police jurymen that this is not your money. This is the taxpayers' money. And I just want to re-emphasize that, because not everybody pays an equal share across this board who pays for this funding. And so this is the taxpayers' dollars, and y'all have the trustee honor to be here, elected by the official or by your citizens to do this. So, first of all, about the library. It's a beautiful building, but it has a terrible outreach history. We did away with the bookmobile. We did away with any type of outreach program that we have for this library. It is not serving the benefit of the parish citizens. It benefits the folks in Ruston, Louisiana, who can get there if you have a car, if you have the means, if you have transportation, but it does not benefit the entire parish. And I contend that there needs to be a hard look at that parish about the way the library operates, and generally speaking, as to the way it functions and the things of that nature. Second of all, there was a debt, a bond issue that was passed to build the library originally. There's millions of dollars held in escrow to pay off that debt, and it never has been. Those dollars sit in the bank. They sit wherever they are, instead of going against that bond issue to help reduce that debt. And here we're looking at giving the library, which looks like a bank, additional dollars to pay it off, when in fact they've had additional dollars. And I think they've had a little bit of poor management, maybe. I'm not sure why that is. But I think before me and some of the other taxpayers in this room I know we can't agree. We hope you guys make a good choice. But they need to do something about tightening up their belt, reducing the debt that they incur at the library, that y'all guys may not need as much debt from us, the taxpayers. I mean, they stay up until 8 o'clock, 3 or 4 nights a week. Is there really a need for the Lincoln Parish Library to stay open 3 or 4 nights a week to 8 o'clock? Is there a need for the library to be open on Sunday? If you look at Washoe Parish, they have 10 satellite libraries. 10! And a bookmobile. Chatham, if you look at Jonesboro has a library and a satellite. Sells Farmable. These are such smaller parishes than what we have, except for obviously Washoe Parish. But I think that when that whole thing was bought, that building has just consumed a lot of money, and it has not produced a lot of services. And I think there needs to be a revamping, a re-looking at, a re-talking about the services that come out of it. If there was a bookmobile that came out in the summertime like it used to be when I was a kid, there was something where the children would get to have a book in the summer instead of you having to have a car and mom has to drive to work, drive up here to Ruston to get it. I guarantee you the folks in here who represent Simsboro, Grambling, Dubach, Shudrin has never seen one service of that library out there to their house. And that's a shame. You are talking about $1 million, $2 million. After a while, $1 million here, $1 million there. Starts kind of sounding like little money. But it's not little money. I mean, at $10 a plate, you could have fed 100,000 people. You realize that? $1 million, $10 a plate, that's 100,000 meals. After a while, it starts adding up. My contention is that the dollars that you spend need to serve the people that are footing the bill. And right now, the Parish Library does not fit the bill of serving those people. And I would ask you guys, whether you pass the money or not pass the money, that is not my decision. I can't do it. All I can do is beg you, get on my knees and say, please, do what's right. But I ask you to look down at the library and say, what is it that we're doing with that place? And can we serve the citizens of this parish better than what we do? There is no other service that you guys offer in the parish. Y'all realize it's trash, police, sheriff. All those services reach out to the community in this parish. Except the library, except the courthouse. I'm not asking for anything but some services for what we get and what we pay for. And right now, I think the library is a great place to go around and listen to your iPad. I mean, most of it's internet access. It just is. I'm not against education. I'm not against learning. I'm not against any of that. But I am against spending money in places in one spot. You understand what I'm saying? One spot where only a person who has a car can get there to it. I have a problem with that when everybody else is paying the bill. That's my gripe. And I would hope that you guys, whether you give the extra money, if you don't give the extra money, look at what the library can do to tighten up their belt a little bit before you come to the taxpayers asking us extra money. And I would ask you, has that been done? Has one thing been done with the library to tighten up their belt? Just one. And the answer is probably no. The answer is probably no. And if share the cost, let them pay for a library card, $1 for a library card, or 50 cents for the kids for a library card, $1 for the adults. That's what it is in Bossier. You go to Bossier, go to the County Parish Library, you pay $1 for the library card. That way everybody shares the cost. So I implore you, I beg you, think about it before you make that decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. We have another speaker about the issue of the library, Mr. Derry.
Yeah. I've been involved in the library since we moved, even before that time. And this body at that time made the decision to not build the other low location because it was going inside of the hill and it was much more expensive. I also was here when we stopped the boatmobile. The reason was it was outrageous expenses with outrageous to try to run an RV all over the parish. The library does serve all the parish. I live in Silversboro. I live out on the very western part of the parish, the very far as you can get from here.
And they come visit you.
Sir?
And they come visit you.
No.
They bring children and books to you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize.
Just listen to Mr. Garrett, he's got the floor.
I'm not saying that they bring it to you. I'm saying they do service. I do come to the library. The people in Silversboro do come to the library. Kids do come to the library. The bus brings the kids to the library for certain events. They do serve the people that in the parish. And it's a very important service to the parish. It is a very important service to a lot of people that can't afford to go get on the internet somewhere else or go look at books and services. They have programs over there for kids every summer reading books. I don't know all the programs. I just know that Sherry's running over there. And I think I just want to say the library does provide a service to the parish that is needed for the parish and not just to us.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett. Anyone else? Yes,
my name is Casey Richard. I work at the library, and I would just like to let the community know that we do have an outreach program. If you happen to be disabled, or if you or an elderly person in the community and you're interested in books, we will deliver them to you. And we are willing to make any kind of extenuating circumstances. If there is an issue or something, if there's children that we need to get books to. Susan Hayes, she helps with that program. I'm pretty sure all of you know Miss Susan. I would also like to say, in the month of June, we had 35,000 people in the library, and when I collect the July statistics, I will be happy to provide you with them. And on Sunday, we had over 1,200 people in the library. On Monday, I believe I had 250 people in the library. So I just want to implore you and let you know that it is a privilege to be able to keep this library open 7 days a week, and there are very few people that are allowed that luxury in any of the other parishes in the state. And if you would like to come and get any other statistics on the foot traffic that the library has had over the last couple of months, I'll be happy to give it to you.
All right, thank you, sir. I believe you
my name is Joe Young, and I just have a question. Do they submit a budget to y'all for their annual expenses?
They do.
And what time of the year do they submit that?
It's done in the fall.
Okay, so it's due.
October. Yes, sir. That concludes your remarks?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else to speak at the public hearing regarding the proposed library meeting? If there's no one else, then we'll close the public hearing and we'll, we'll call the regular jury meeting to order. If you'll stand.
If you would please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here tonight to serve the people. Remind us that it's the people that we serve, it's your people here in our parish. Lord, help us to remember all the gifts that you've given us, and let us use those as best we can to serve you. In Christ's name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, please be seated. At this time, item 3, approval of the agenda. What's your pleasure, sir?
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the agenda as published. Any comments or questions before we vote? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor of approval, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Hearing none, please include that accordingly. Item 4, public comment on agenda items. At this time, would any member of the public like to make a comment on any of the items on tonight's agenda? All right, thank you. We want you to know that you're welcome here, and a couple of words of safety before we get started. The fire exit will be around the corner behind the elevator, so you'll go through both glass doors and to your right, and there's a stairwell. There's another stairwell down at this end of the hall. You will not want to use the elevator if the fire alarm goes off. Restrooms are straight that way and to the right, ladies and gentlemen. And with that said, we welcome you here to tonight's meeting. If at any time during the discussion of one of the agenda items you have a question or a brief comment, we'll try to recognize you, but we need to limit the amount of time. And additionally, at the end of the meeting, some of you have signed up to address an issue that may not be on the agenda. And we'll let you address the jury at that time before we adjourn. Okay, that's it. Thank you for coming. All right, item 5, minutes of the prior meeting, July 9, 2019.
Second.
Have a motion second to approve the minutes of the prior meeting, July 9, 2019, as printed. Any discussion, questions, errors, omissions? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay, item 6, property assessment board of review. Okay. You talk first.
Yes. Okay, this is a basic procedural review of the obligations of the Board of Review. The assessment list will be open for public inspection for 15 days from August 16th to August 30th, 2019. During this period, taxpayers should check the values on their property. If there is a disagreement and the taxpayer wishes to protest the value, taxpayer must fill out a form, notice of appeal request for Board of Review, and schedule an appearance before the Lincoln Parish Board of Review during hearings held for this purpose. The Board of Review will determine if any changes should be made to the assessment values in question. If either the assessor or taxpayer is not satisfied with the determination of the Board of Review, either may appeal to the Louisiana Tax Commission. The Louisiana Tax Commission will consider any and all appeals timely filed in hearings that are open to the public.
All right, this time, Jared, we need a motion to recess the regular meeting and convene as the Property Assessment Board of Review for tax assessment purposes of 2019. We have a motion and a second to do so. Any discussion before we vote? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? I believe that's unanimous, Cory. All right, we're now convened as Property Assessment Board of Review. We now need a motion that public hearings be scheduled as necessary between the periods of September 2nd, 2019 and September 16, 2019 for the purpose of the Board of Review to consider the written or oral complaints of any person desiring to be heard who has timely filed reports as required by state law relative to assessment of real or personal property in Lincoln Parish, Louisiana for the year. Said public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 10th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second that we schedule public hearings as just described. Any comments, discussions before we vote? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Right now, we need a motion to recess the 2019 Board of Review and reconvene the regular session of Lincoln Parish Police Jury.
I make that motion.
Now, a motion and a second to recess the Board of Review for 2019 and reconvene as Lincoln Parish Police Jury. Any comments or questions before we vote? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please so indicate. Any abstention? All right, hearing none, believe that was unanimous. Thank you. All right. Item 7. Appointment of Mr. Scott Futrell to Waterworks District No. 1 for a 5-year term.
I move that we appoint.
Mr. Futrell here. Would you like to say a word, sir?
No, enjoying the meeting.
Thank you,
Glad to
sir.
have you. Bob, do you have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept.
All right, we have a motion and second to appoint Mr. Futrell to Waterworks District 1 for a 5-year term. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? I believe that's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Futrell. You're now on the Waterworks Board, and we appreciate your willingness to serve.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Item 8, adoption of ordinances levying the tax millage rates for 2019. One, the general alimony millage A on all taxable property inside the corporate limits of Ruston, Louisiana. Yes, sir.
Since I'm running for the office of tax assessor, I don't feel that it's appropriate for me to comment or vote on any of the millage levies. So I'm gonna abstain from all the votes, and I want to have that noted before we start.
All right, Mr. Casper, Mr. Bullen abstains from discussion and voting. All right. Yeah. On this ordinance, you got it in your packet. For general parish purposes, the general alimony tax on all property inside the corporate limits of the city of Ruston, 1.68 mil. For general parish purposes, general alimony tax on all taxable property outside the corporate limits of the city of Ruston, 3.37 mil. And this is not a change from this year, it's the same year. What's your pleasure?
Well, the thing about it is when you vote taxes on the outside, you really vote taxes on, for you on the inside. So if you're gonna trade here in Ruston, you're gonna pay tax.
No, property.
That's right. I'm wrong.
You remember the situation here is that because Ruston has their own street department, they pay half the general alimony.
And collect.
Parish like.
Trash also.
Right. So we'll have to have a roll call vote if you're ready to vote. Forty? Got a motion? Yes, got a motion. Got a motion, Ms. Strawder, and a second from Ms. Hunter. Now we have a roll call vote.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes?
Hammonds,
Yeah.
Poland,
Abstain.
Stain, Backus.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Abstain.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that passed. Thank you. All right, our next item. Item 8, item 2, for construction, improvement, and hard surfacing of public roads and bridges in Lincoln Parish. Again, you have a copy of this ordinance in your packet. The current millage is 4.41 mils, and we're 4.41, and it would be unchanged. 4.41 is the recommendation. We have a need a motion and a second. And we'll have a roll call vote. Got a motion?
Need a motion?
I second.
We have a motion and a second from Mr. Bennett and Ms. White.
Okay, roll call, Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes?
Hammonds,
Yeah.
Poland abstains, Backus.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
Yes.
All right, that passed. Thank you. All right, item 8, item 3. For the maintenance and or improvement of public roads and bridges in Lincoln Parish. Again, you have a copy in your packet. Same as last year, 4.41 mils.
So moved.
Second.
A motion from Mr. Strawder, second from Mr. Henderson, and we'll have a roll call.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes?
Hammonds,
Yeah.
Poland abstains, Backus.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
Yes.
All right, thank you, that was passed. All right, item 9, sub-item 4, for the operating, maintaining, constructing, and supporting the public library and its branches in Lincoln Parish. You have a copy of that in your packet. 4.65 mils.
Second.
Have a motion from Mr. Ron Mayfield, second from Mr. Henderson, roll call.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes?
Hammonds,
Yeah.
Poland abstains, Backus.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
Yes.
Passes.
All right, thank you. All right, item 9, sub-item 5, for the purpose of constructing, improving, and acquiring equipment and furniture for the public library in Lincoln Parish. Again, you have a page in your packet, the rate of 4.55 mils. What's your pleasure?
0.55.
Who says? What?
Didn't it change?
So moved.
Didn't it change?
That's the same as it was last.
Same as last year.
Okay. I make that motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second from Mr. Benny and Mr. Hammonds. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett, Robertson,
Yes?
Hammonds,
Yeah.
Poland abstains, Backus.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
All right, that passed. Thank you, everyone. Okay, item 9 on the agenda. Schedule public hearing for Section 8 Housing Assistance Program. What do we need to approve?
I'll give you a little information on that. As part of the Section 8 Housing Assistance Program, they have to have a public hearing every year to get input from the public, discuss the missions, goals, and objectives of the Section 8 Housing Assistance Program. The date that will be set for that hearing is Monday, September 16th at 10 a.m. The location will be at the Housing Program Office at 829 East Georgia Avenue, Suite 7 in Ruston. Need a motion and a second to set. the
So
public hearing.
moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion second to set the public hearing as prescribed by Mr. Hall. Any comments or questions before we vote? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Thank you. Item 10, resolutions. Sub-item 1, authorize president to execute annual public housing authority certifications of compliance.
After we have the public hearing, the president will have to sign off on some certifications that need to be returned to HUD, and this basically gives him the authority to sign this.
I make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion second. To authorize president to execute this certification of compliance. Any discussion, comments before we vote? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? I believe it's unanimous. Thank you. Item 10, resolution 2, requesting the assistance of the Millage legislative delegation and the Police Jury Association of Louisiana regarding existing severance tax exemptions.
Okay, you had a pretty extensive resolution that we worked pretty hard on in your packet. I hope everybody had a chance to review that. It really, I think, does a good job of covering the situation that we find ourselves in and the circumstances that caused this. Basically, in a nutshell, with Act 120, which amended the 1994 Act, gave the Department of Revenue and the Louisiana Department of Natural Resources the authority to set a base price for a barrel of oil for a million BTUs of natural gas. And if that base price is not met, no severance taxes due. Well, when they set this in 2015, the base price for natural gas was $70, and natural gas was $4.50. So unless it rose above those prices, then no severance tax was due. And of course, what happened? As soon as the act passed, it hadn't been above $70 or $4 since that was passed. And so what you had was some major oil and gas players here that took advantage of the exemption, went ahead and paid their severance taxes. But what they did this year is they went in and filed limited returns to get all that money back. And so it's really skewed things. We only get 20% of that, or 1/5, and it's capped up to a certain amount. So basically, we've given away, or not given away, but we haven't received what we're rightfully due, the $1.1 million, and the state is basically giving away $24 million of their money for this incentive, all based on, somebody's opinion of what the price of oil.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make that motion.
All right, we have a motion, and we have a second to adopt the resolution as described. Any comments or questions before we vote? Yes.
What is the consequences if we vote no?
We continue to lose $1 million a year.
This is just a resolution. We're voting in support of, or not in support of this resolution.
Our intent is at the regional meeting next week,
Okay.
we're going to present this and have it adopted by the region. And then the next step in that is to go to the state convention next February, where the state will adopt it, and then it'll gather some weight then. Also, our legislative delegation will be working on this, as well as the Police Jury Association. So hopefully we can get enough leverage for them to go in and just amend the law is all that really is going to be required.
I would comment that even if this were a valid incentive at the time it was adopted, the cost of drilling and completing these wells has dropped continually since the technology was discovered. So it at least needs a revisit by the legislature. But what grieves us as much as anything is the surprise. The budget not knowing what's going to happen. Just boom, out of the blue. So we're going to make that claim too. Someone quit back, have a question?
I do.
Go ahead.
The way I understand the severance tax, the exemption there is it can only be used 3 years, is that correct?
That is not correct.
Okay.
There's a two-pronged approach on the exemption. The original law that was passed in 1994 exempted a well for 2 years or until it reached payout, whichever occurred first. The Act 120 that was passed in 2015 put an exemption on production after July 1st, 2015, and tiered that exemption based upon the price of oil or gas, depending upon whether you were severing oil or gas. And that is a permanent exemption, and it goes for production. It does not have an end date on it that I was able to find.
So the loss of the severance tax money that the jury gets is from this year on forward?
It will not necessarily be from this year on forward. This year is impacted by the $24 million of credits and negative tax collected in the months of March through June. But it will reduce the amount of severance tax collected by the state because presumably those companies that requested the refund had been paying the tax under the impression that it was due and payable.
So it is ongoing or it is not ongoing? I'm still confused. This is something they can take every year from here on out?
Not for the same well, you have to do it individually.
Individual wells, okay.
Each new well you drill. Since currently, I think we're pretty much drilling our last well in the parish right now, there's only like one under production.
But ongoing production is effective
On the severance, yeah.
on the severance tax.
Don't this only pertain to frac wells?
It pertains only to those wells that are drilled horizontally.
Horizontally.
Well, I mean horizontal, yeah.
Yes. Horizontal drilling or recompletions, and then the statute defines how broad of an angle and how much depth the well
Right.
has to go through the shale play to get there.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion about the motion? Walker?
I have a question there for Courtney. Is any other parishes, adopting resolutions that you've heard of?
Not that I've heard of. I've already sent a copy of this to the Police Jury Association for their review. And they don't have any issues with it.
I will say that other parishes are looking at it because I heard a
Right.
call from a juror in another parish who were affected. They're in Region 4 also, and so we've been in communication. And it's gonna come up at the Region 4 meeting.
I'm surprised they didn't let us know.
They didn't know either. I think that's something. Any more discussion? Yeah, yes, sir.
What's the projected impact like next year, the next 2 years, 3 years?
Depends on the file.
Right now, we're sitting from a tax collected standpoint, the parish is sitting at a negative approximately $18 million of tax, and until that tax collected by the state goes positive, the parish will not see severance tax returned to it, the 1/5 that's constitutionally declared back to the parish.
Point of clarification, tell him what we originally budgeted and expected to get this year.
We had originally budgeted just over $1 million for oil and gas severance tax, and that's what we took the action earlier this evening in the finance committee meeting to amend the budget and remove.
Have you potentially looked at the impact on next year's budget?
The impact on next year's budget is likely to be that we won't get any oil and gas severance tax because that $18 million deficit, the severance tax collected for the month of July was $1.6 million by the state. So until that $18 million deficit is gone, it will be no severance tax received.
So
it would
likely
be
we-
next year we'd have no severance tax received on oil and gas, and perhaps 2021 we would.
And the only way to fix this is legislative. So now we've got to wait till the next legislative session. So we want to, gear up and get ready to have our delegation or somebody ready to present something reasonable.
Now, if the price of oil were to go up, then the severance tax on those horizontally drilled wells that are currently exempted would be due and payable, and it would reduce the deficit of tax collected faster.
So the impact on the general fund budget is about 30%. But the impact on the police jury budget overall is between 5 and 6%. So let's clarify that. There was something on the paper one time that didn't quite have it right. So between 5 and 6% of the overall jury budget.
I have a question on that too while we talk.
Yeah.
Is this something that's just an educational guess or why it's going to affect these budget items that you're talking about? Or you know for sure that it's going to be like a 5 or 6% effect on that, or?
We know we're not gonna get it. We know how much we budgeted. About $1 million. We're not gonna get it, so.
Right.
And the budget item would be an educated guess because we don't know what production is being pulled from the ground, and we have no way of knowing what oil prices are gonna do. That would cause production to increase or decrease.
The state collects this, and they send us supposedly our part, and it's capped. I mean, you can't get everything no matter how much they collect. So there we are. We have to estimate when we make the budget, and it's our best estimate of what
Right,
we expect to get, usually it's based on the history of the thing, which till now has been very liable. So, okay, does that answer your question? Anyone else? All right, if there's no further discussion, are you ready to vote on the resolution?
Roll
Nancy?
call.
Give it one roll call. Okay,
All right, Ray, Wyatt,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Robertson,
yes?
Hammond. Yeah. Pullen,
Yes.
Backus. Russell,
Yes.
Henderson,
Yes.
Wilson,
I'll say.
Mayfield,
Yes.
Strawder.
Yes.
Okay, 11 yeas and 1 abstention. Thank you, everyone. We'll present this reason for meeting. None of that. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Item 11, budget action. Mr. Lowry, the treasurer, give us a report.
With the exception of the amendment that we've made for the severance tax revenue and the transfer to courthouse capital, the costs that we've incurred are trending close to budget. Just a couple of things I want to point out, sales tax is still down compared to the prior year. We don't have all the impact of any sales tax that was been collected associated with the Dixie World Series, but in general, the sales tax is down approximately $100,000 over this period last year. From a standpoint of the general fund, we are working to control the costs where we can. There are some contributions to other organizations that still need to be made, and will be done in the month of August, and those are mandated by law, and so we'll take care of that. If you wanna look at the, solid waste disposal fund, which is on page 10 of the packet, you'll see that the sales and use tax revenue is approximately $2.6 million with this budget of 4.5. We talked about that being a little bit less. Landfill fees are increasing, at $143,000 versus a budget of $188,000. That's driven by the contractors bringing in tornado debris. It's increasing that number, so it's a help to the budget this year. It will not be ongoing continually. We hope we don't have another tornado. You'll also notice that salaries and wages are higher this year than they were last, and particularly the contract labor line is over budget. That there again is driven by the work that's being done at the disposal to handle the tornado debris and the work that was done originally when that tornado event happened. And it should, some of that is reimbursable through FEMA, and we're working in the process with FEMA to put together the documents that they need to support the chargeback and to get that money returned to the parish. Solid waste collection fund is impacted with the sales tax being lower where the transfer and disposal line is, and that's on page 11 of your packet. Container rentals are running on track with last year. And the, on here, the contract labor is right at budget, but it's offset in a little bit in the wages, which are running lower. So we kind of have a swap between regular employees and temporary employees. Then everything else is pretty much on track. If you have anything that you looked at that you want me to find information out or try to answer, I'll be happy to. If you look at the courthouse capital, we've spent $429,000 on the expo, about $66,000 on the elevator, and about $17,000 on some roofing repairs. That's all I have.
Question.
Yes, sir.
On the contract labor on the solid waste collection,
Yes, sir.
is running right at budget?
Yes. But that's an
But-
annual budget and we're in August.
Right, so that means in 4 months we're gonna be over.
Correct. But you're gonna be under budget on the wages yet, because we've got a swap between employees versus temporary employees.
Okay. So, cause it's, we still got 4 months left, 131,000 less than what we budgeted, right? We've spent 115,000.
In the wages line, yes.
Right, But the budget 246.
Correct.
Okay.
So those two will probably net out pretty close to each other.
Right, okay.
Part of that is, am I right, we're hiring more folks on the litter. Are we paying for more? We picked up a couple extras, now we got.
We do.
So we doubled up the number of people we're actually paying to pick up trash if we can't get any help with detention.
And we all need to visit with the candidates for sheriff to see if they would not help us on that, as they have in the past.
All right, any more questions from Ms. Lowry? All right, thank you. Committee reports, item 12, Public Works Committee.
Public Works Committee met today, 6:30. Had two items, action on bid for 2019 asphalt concrete overlay, which was given to Amateur Construction. And second item was change order number 3, North Louisiana Exhibition Center, which was approved by the committee. Put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the report of the Public Works Committee. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor of accepting the committee report, please so indicate.
Aye.
Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Please up to unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Hamlins. Finance Committee, Mr. Russell.
The Finance Committee of the Lowry Parish Police Jury met Tuesday, August 13th, 2019 at 6:45. There were 3 items that were brought to the attention of the committee. Number 1, reduce the transfer courthouse capital fund in the amount of $459,588. That was approved. Secondly, reduce severance tax in the amount of $1 million. That was also approved. And then thirdly, reduce the transfer in from the general fund in the amount of $459,588. That was approved. And I submit that in the form of a motion.
All right, I have a motion from Mr. Russell, second from Ms. Mayfield to accept the report of the Finance Committee. Any comments or questions before we vote? Hearing none, if you're ready to vote, all in favor of accepting the committee report, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please so indicate. Any abstentions? Abstention, thank you. Leave that passed. Any other business, travel?
No travel.
Correspondence. Department reports?
I got travel.
You got travel.
I got a report. I went to the Organization of Parish Administrative Officials Conference, which was held in New Orleans this year, from July 31st to August 2nd. Attended a couple different seminars and made several contacts across the state. The main topic I wanted to bring back from the conference was about the 2020 census. So the speaker reminded us how Louisiana lost a seat in Congress last census. We had 7, but currently have 6. And the census is important to keep those seats or gain more. So we were encouraged to start talking about it and encouraging everyone about completing the census once it arrives in your mail. We should start seeing mailouts around March 12th, they said. The U.S. Census Bureau is also hiring, that's what they're telling us. There are mostly 10 positions open. The number I received, the lady said, as of July 22nd, there was still 344 positions out of a total of 412 still available. So those have probably changed. So if you want further information about that, you can go to 2020census.gov or see me after the meeting. I can give you some of that. So just FYI for everybody's district's sake, address canvassing has started. So you should start seeing census workers out there with badges and everything else in your neighborhoods, trying to making sure that they have all the addresses so they can send those mail-outs to the proper people. So that's it.
All right, any questions for Katie? Good job, Katie. Thank you. Mr. Franklin, you have a report?
Yes, sir. As you remember, back in 2016, following the flood, we started a parish-wide generator project, which was approved by FEMA and all, and we got between the city of Ruston and all the other applicants, we got 1.6 million in generators that have been used and were thoroughly used during the Ruston tornado event, which we found out later that we could apply for additional generator funding projects for rural water districts and all. And so we applied that application about a year ago, and we just received approval on that, and we're receiving another $591,823, which will include the village of Simsboro, Greater Ward 1 Water, Waterworks District 3, Mount Zion Water, Ling Parish Fire District, and Wesley Chapel Water System. Those are all the applicants, and they have their own individual projects that they will be responsible for a 75-25 cost share. So the government will pay for 75% of those generators. And we will have to get a resolution passed for the president to sign off on any public assistance as well as hazard mitigation funding that for these projects, which includes what Holly mentioned, the public assistance from the Ruston tornado and all that, and all the debris and stuff that we've handled this year. That's what we have to sign off on an agreement for that through the public assistance progress. The Small Business Administration has set up office at Ruston City Hall. They're on the second floor in the old courtroom there, and they are offering low interest loans. They'll sit down with individuals that were affected by the tornado and see if they can help them out with low interest loans. That's the only federal funding we will see as far as individual assistance and stuff from the tornado. And other than that, y'all keep an eye out there. It's getting really hot. And as of tomorrow or Thursday, we're not sure which one, the lights at Highway 33 and 821 will be activated. So if you're driving in that area, be cautious and be careful. Any questions?
Can I tag on to his report? Mr. Franklin and myself are serving on the Ruston Strong Long-Term Recovery Committee. Any of you folks, Ms. Straughter, Mr. Henderson, Ms. Mayfield, or Ms. Wilson, anybody who has folks in their district who are still recovering from the tornado and may need some assistance, if you'll get the word out to them, if they'll call the United Ways 211 operator system, they can screen them, let them know if they might be available. As Mr. Franklin said, the Small Business Administration is in town and is going to be setting up shop to do loans. And when most people hear Small Business Administration, they don't feel like they can apply for them individually. But for natural disasters, say you needed a loan to fill in the gap between what your insurance paid for repairing your home and what it's actually going to cost you, you can go to the Small Business Administration and apply for a low interest loan to cover those costs. If anybody has any other questions about the Ruston Strong Long-Term Recovery Program, Mr. Franklin or myself, either one, can fill you in on some of the details. But the main thing is we need to make sure that the information gets out to the folks who may need some assistance. And we got to do a good job, and you guys are the hands and feet in the communities, so we need to make sure that the information gets out to everybody.
And the SBA did open their doors this morning, so they're at City Hall, and they will be there until that need is exhausted. Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Franklin.
Last month, we have replaced the Bias Road, Sunshine, and Jackson Road bridge. We tore those out and put in tank cars. The roads are open, but we'll still be doing some additional work there in the area, so please, have everybody pay attention to the signs. And we are coming around cutting grass, but due to the rain, and we've had some breakdowns on some tractors and stuff like that, of course, all the extra rain earlier in the year, grass is higher, we have to run slower. I know it's a sore subject, but we are coming.
Let me ask you a question. The bridge is out there, outside of Simsboro. You got one that's about completed? You should tear another one out? Is that true?
No, sir, we got them all three already done. The three we done. Now, if you're talking about Eves Road, the state project,
is that one done?
That's a state
Well,
project.
it's open. Yes, it's a state project, but I did talk to them.
It's open.
And, it is, they say it's not officially open, but it's not, they didn't say it was closed either, but they just said it's not officially open.
It's open. There's no signs
Yeah, I
up.
mean, people drive across it.
There's no
That's just what they
signs are
do.
down. It's open.
It's open.
Is Jefferson open now too?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think they wouldn't open one without opening both.
Yeah, they opened them both. They're open.
That's just a reply they give me, not officially open, so I stuck with that.
While we're talking about roads, I have a question to ask about the street. The road at the south end of Pee Ridge Road, where it's asphalted, remember it was asphalted as far as the old Lincoln asphalt plant.
Yes.
When we redo that road, would it be asphalted or chip seal?
At this point, we're probably going back with chip seal.
Is that Arkansas Plant Road?
No, you can chip seal road.
Okay, okay. That answered the question that I couldn't answer. Thank you. Who's next? Got a report?
Good evening. Y'all should have all mine. I'm here for questions.
You always have good news.
LCDBG.
That LCBGB, grant, project is going, we've completed, in the Green Acres Mobile Home Park, we've completed the south side. The new service mains, the customer service is all connected, everything's in place. The old line is torn or it's closed off. They are working on the north side. They are right now, the line is in, they're tying in services right now. The lift station on Arthur Road is complete, and we are now functioning on the new lift station.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Who's next?
No report, but any questions?
Good job on the trash and pipe areas that get some confidence on the trash.
Question.
Go ahead.
Okay. In some areas, at some dumpster sites, we still have people who are jumping in the dumpsters, pulling trash bags out, opening them up, and leaving a heck of a mess. Can we put cameras on some of those areas?
We have permanent cameras on some sites. Other than that, we do have some that move around.
And are we prosecuting?
As far as I know, we are now better than we were in the past.
Good. Those folks are costing the taxpayers a lot of money when they're throwing that trash out.
Absolutely.
I'd like to encourage you to keep an eye on the one on 151 just east of U-Bob.
Okay. And I was
There's
referring to Stable
same
Road.
vehicle there all the time.
I got one more question to, Public Works guy.
Tom Burnside.
Public Works guy.
Big Creek Road.
Yes, sir.
It was reported to me that there was a big eat-out place right about the dumpster site.
Mhm.
And I'd like to ask Courtney or you each one about that bridge down there. When we're gonna start on that bridge, they worried me to
They
death about.
closed it Monday.
They gonna close it
No,
Monday?
It's closed now, they closed it.
Already started.
Okay, good. But what about that big place they said?
I will go check it out. I've been tied up on the other bridges, but I will go check it out first thing in the morning.
Okay.
At the old dumpster site?
Yeah,
On Big Creek?
yeah, where the dumpster site is now.
Okay, all right, right there, Pete.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out first thing in the morning, I'll let you know something.
Okay.
Anything else from Tom? Go ahead.
I attended the legal conference and several of the workshops that I went to. And one was, it was a documentary that was filmed that they had, and it was, the name was I Am Jane Doe. And it was basically talking about, the trafficking, you know, and it was, this here documentary, it led to the passage of the federal policies to support the victims of crime. It was, after that documentary film, they had a panel discussion, and we had, several, experts that was supposed to be talking about how we were gonna combat human trafficking within our community. And it was a very good film and a documentary that I think a lot of people really need to see how much human trafficking is going on within, it's probably going on right here in Lincoln Parish, you just don't know it. That how we can try to know how to focus on it and how we can prevent it. And it was another one, it was about supporting our nation's aging population.
Amen.
Aging population. And I know some of us, and I don't know whether most of us, have some elderly parents or have aunts and uncles, you know, just people within the community that you know that are aging. And it was basically saying by 2035, it would be the first time in history that the population of the adults of 65 and older will outnumber the children younger than 18. Yes. That's really something. And a lot of our people are really taking care of their aging parents. And it is devastating on the really the residents. And they basically were saying that we need to, you know, get resources to support our elderly citizens. And it's gonna be like, we're gonna have home-based care, and we're gonna be building a safe and accessible communities that all of our people will be able to be into. So it will be coinciding with the young people and trying to get the resources for the aging population too. So they will be all working together. Then it basically was talking, another one was talking about the GI. And they're gonna be working with the next generation project for the telecommunication services throughout the nation. And it will be exploring innovative ideas for our local leaders to ensure that all residents are counted during the 2020 census. So those were very interesting to me that I need to bring back to the Thank you.
They want that inheritance, that's what they're working.
I think Ms. Mayfield brought up a point about graduating. You know what's going on in Parish. It's the awfulest thing I've ever heard of. And there's a lady, I wish I could think of her name, that is doing the Lord's work down here. I wish she'd come speak with you, know?
Mission 13 is the
That's what I'm
local-
thinking about.
They're the local group, and I'd encourage you to reach out to Nick Lack. They might be able to show the film at the Dixie for you.
It's terrible, I'm just saying. Little Lincoln Parish, the world that we live in. Thank you for that great report. Did you have anything to add, Nancy?
Yeah, actually, when we got there, they had the human trafficking special going on. And we went there, and a lot of what Sharon was saying was that where I was. And it was very interesting because that needs with the 2020 census is about coverage. And it's sad that the numbers will not generate what's in the household. And so what it is that I am going to get in contact hopefully with the ones in my area so that we can go ahead and get the household numbers.
Steve, you have a library report?
I do. Casey kind of stole my thunder a bit ago when she was talking about how many folks we had in the library last month. Over 35,000 people walked in those doors, and that's a lot of people. We had over 800 kids under age 12 that did the summer reading program this past summer. Just finished it week before last. We're gearing up right now for the visits from the schools. Every first grade class in the parish will be coming to the library, and they'll be getting their library card and all the things that they do. and we're just business as usual and really busy right now. I did want to mention, on behalf of the Ruston Daily Leader, the library is not sponsoring this program, but the Daily Leader and the Origin Bank are sponsoring it. But Cody asked me to let you all know and remind you that all of the candidates running in the local elections will be at the Library Event Center starting on the 12th for different groups. The 12th will be the sheriff's race, and then other people, you all will be included, and the police jury districts will be there. The assessor will be there, the clerk of the court will be there. So there will be a night for everybody that's a candidate. So anybody in the parish is welcome to come and meet and greet and talk with people and find out what their platforms are, and hopefully make the best decision for the people of our parish. So that will begin on September 12th and go through the end of the month at different dates, and that's on the second page of today's paper. But it's posted in Facebook and posted in the paper. You'll see it advertised much more. But we hope to see you all there at some of these programs. Thank you.
All right, so any question there? No. All right, okay, go ahead.
Don't quote me on this, but I think it's the 22nd of this month. We're taking bids on a detention center expansion. It's either that, during that week. But anyway, we may have to call a special meeting for Tuesday, August 27th, at 5:30 to take action on those bids. So you'll get an email if that's necessary, and we'll notify the meeting.
Good job, that's been a long time. Anything else before we go, Mr. Russell?
I think there are some.
Yes, we have some people requested to speak at the end of the meeting about non-agenda items. First person, Bill Smith. Mr. Smith here?
Yeah.
You have the floor, Mr. Smith.
I would just like to say that a few months back, the jury had a motion on the floor to give themselves a raise, and it was defeated. I've not heard one to give the people out on 33 and that work for the jury a raise. I've noticed that there are apartments and businesses steady going up outside of the city limits, and that means more work for them. And it might be a good idea if you all would start it, since you can't find money in the budget for them, you can find money for the State Police Jury Association meeting and NACO, and you can also find it for the Black Caucus. You can pay those dues without a corporate and double agreement. Looks like you all would not take a salary and give that to the people out at the jury for each year, that almost $1,000 that you get. That would add up real quick, and I'm sure the people out there would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Smith.
Any questions?
Sir, did you want to speak again? Did you address your item?
I appreciate it.
All right, anything else before we go?
Thank you. Just remind everybody that school starts Thursday, so there'll be a lot of extra traffic on the road, buses and all that.
Absolutely. Watch for the children. Being adjourned.